with Blackwell Realty Group and 72soldut.com, and today I'm filming a video to compare 2019 to 2020. We're going to be looking at list price, sold price, and how they interacted with each other traditionally in 2019 and how they interacted with each other in 2020, and then also days on market and how that played a role in what happened in 2020. Thanks for joining me. If you like this content, take a minute to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. So as we look at what is on my screen right now, you can see this blue line right here is our days on market, and we're looking at 2019 first. So days on market typically are a little bit higher during the winter months. Typically people don't want to move during the holidays, so buyer demand's a little bit lower and such. So you'll see that days on market decreases. So in 2019 it got down to about 17 days on market in May of 19, and then it slowly crept back up in December. Then you'll see here this gray line is list price. So this is median list price month by month throughout 2019. The orange line is median sold price throughout 2019. So historically, people list their house and then they get an offer on it, and at the median, the sold price is below what the list price was. And they track pretty closely, you'll see. So with the summer months being really hot, for the real estate market, you'll see that they track a little closer, and also you can see how prices have increased slowly over 2019. And take note that this right-hand axis is our days on market, and the left-hand axis is the price or sold price of the home, or list price. So as we go over to 2020, you can see our days on market. You know, they transferred over pretty well, and then they just started plummeting. So we had coronavirus first kind of started coming to light heavily with shutdowns and whatnot in March. And at that time, our days on market were about 16 days on market. And then it dipped real low down to 11 or 12. And what happened, so things that were already pending or in escrow in March, when it really started to hit the United States and Utah pretty hard, most of those had to close. I had some contracts at that time, and we were already past periods where we could refund earnest money. So they had to close, or buyers had to lose earnest money. And then things kind of paused, and you can see that pause right here in the prices. Things kind of dipped because demand dipped. Supply dipped also because people are afraid to list their house because they didn't want people in their house. But then as the market started to rebound, our days on market increased a little bit. And then as the Federal Reserve started doing things, lowering rates even lower, demand increased, people wanted to move to Utah because this is for the Utah market. Demand skyrocketed and supply didn't keep up with it because people were still kind of tentative about it. Supply is still low. It's super low right now. There's about less than half a month of supply. If there were no homes listed right now, half a month left of inventory. So if we look at the orange and gray lines now, list price, like in 2019, it was always above our sold price, which is typical. And then once that craziness happened, you can track it here where in about July, things flipped. All of a sudden, demand outpaced supply so much that everything was getting bid up. On the median, everything was going above what they listed for. And in this period, sellers were listing really high anyways. Some of my sellers, they're like, well, we want to really stretch it. And I'm like, that's fine. We'll do what we can. And because demand was so great that these prices were getting bid up above, so sold price the rest of the year tracked above our list price. And that is also shown with this days on market line decreasing and finishing off at 7 days on market as a median. So the market, it's nuts. 2020 has been a really weird year. The government really got involved after COVID with more stimulus, more interest rates cuts, 30-year loans. I've had clients get like 2.75 for a 30-year fix. It's a crazy time for real estate. Supply is still very limited. And right now, things are going to stay the same for the foreseeable future, with people still want to move out of really, really heavily populated areas like Los Angeles. They're moving to Arizona, they're moving to Utah, they're moving to Boise, Idaho, they're moving to Texas, places like that, Colorado too. So our market is still very, very strong, and for the foreseeable future, it's going to stay like this. So if you do have questions or want to discuss this further, feel free to reach out anytime. My cell phone is 801-660-9173, or you can email me at eric@blackwellrealitygroup.com. Thanks.